today we are in Åre, back again, in the land of the giants. So here we can see a lot of mountains and there's stories about fights between different giants who try to own different mountains. And they throw big stones at each other and things like that. So on top of that mountain we see two big stones. So that could be a sign of giants.
We just said hi to some skiers because we are not skiing.
Yes, we are not skiing. So
because we are afraid.
Yes, we are walking
down the mountain.
So that's what's going on here. Let's keep on checking. And why we do this is because the science of today are making new experiments with DNA, and that was the thing that happened before the flood and what made the giants in the first place. And the giants were you can't say they're evil just because they're giants, but they became evil because they had to eat so much and they fight a lot, like the stories here. They fight with each other, they don't have peace in their hearts because they have manipulated DNA. And that's what science are trying to do again, with different things. You have this animal mixing, and also with humans, maybe 3 humans can be parents of 1 child, things like that. And that's DNA mixing, and it didn't have any good consequences in the past. Mountains, and right over there we have Norway and Syrien. And anyway, in this area we have a lot of stories about giants, and this place was actually called Land of Giants before, until they named it Jämtland. So that's just the name says something about what really happened here. But anyway, we have on this mountain we have a legend about the root in Skut, root is Skut, who were in this area, and it was also, there's also legends about war between giants who were on different mountains here and there, and then they fight each other. And the reason why we talk about this is because the science of today are trying to do new creatures on Earth, actually, not just robots, but also human robots, and mixing the DNA and all this kind of stuff. And it's a link to the giants, actually, of the Bible, where we can see that there was a manipulation of the DNA between humans and then fallen angels, but also with animals and things like that. So all of God's creation was manipulated before the great flood, and the flood was the reason for the flood was, one of the biggest reasons was this manipulation of the giants, and all, but also human animals and different kind of animals mixed with each other, and liger mixed between tiger and lion, and zebra, lion, everything you see on these movies, all this being who is half maybe man, half animal, or two animals mixed, and all this stuff. And the science of today are actually trying to do these things. There is experiments going on, and they say it's something new, but it's actually something old. So that's the reason why we want to expose these things that happen in these mountain areas. And we see also a lot of stones, like giant stones laying around. Science say it was the ice age, and that's why the stones are left on the mountain. But there's also this about the giants. So that's the reason why we investigate this and check this out, because we need to know that there's a time coming in the last days that they want to, or the evil forces, the fallen angels and Satan and all this stuff, they want to influence the science, human science, so that we think this is something that could help us, and this is, we go moving forward, new technology and all that stuff. And one other thing, just funny about this, is that we have a 5G tower on this mountain also, and that's of course because it's a good location, but it's also a link to, here's the 5G tower, the link between the old technology and the new technology, and it's kind of the same thing, but it's, of course, the 5G maybe was not the technology exactly that they had before the flood, but they had a lot of things that science now say they want to do, like this that I just said about the DNA experiments. So there's a lot of connections between what's happening right now and what's happened before the flood, and it's not blessed by God. That's the thing, because we didn't need to manipulate our DNA or something like that, or mix DNA, because we were created in God's image from the beginning, and that's what's good. God created all these things and said it was good. But then sin came in, of course, and then we needed some thing to help us with the sin, but the fallen angel, the technology and everything, it could not make this Garden of Eden that was lacking. So that's the motivation why we have this, because we want to get back to the Garden of Eden and things like that. But we cannot do it with science and technology. It's only one way, and that's through Jesus Christ, and get born again from the Holy Spirit. So that's the way forward. But science and the world try to make their own salvation. That's what this is all about. And technology, DNA manipulation and things like that, they want to present it as some kind of salvation, but it really will be the opposite. So, but anyway, let's check around and see what we find. And here we are again by the church of Åre, and in the old legends a lot of giants were angry at the church when the church was built, and but this was for a spiritual reason. The church might be corrupt sometimes, it still stands for the Bible, and the giants were of course standing for other things or they came into existence through sexual relationships that the Bible prohibits. So Anyway, there is a spiritual connection there, so that's why the giants were trying to destroy the churches, but they couldn't do it, and they had to flee. So probably something like that also happened here. We don't know, but here's the old church of Åre. Anyway. So right behind me, there, I think it's a mountain called Jättar. That means Sul giant. So that should be then a giant turned into a mountain. That's also something we find in the legends, and it could also be true because the giants were very big. Right now I have to get off this lift. See you later. Det är bra. And we also have the reindeer. So it's a lot of fun animals around here. Now we're leaving the mountain, and there's also legends about this route in Scoot in the late at night, that they can see something at the top of the mountain. So, but this is also, you know, we have manifestations of evil powers, usually late at night. There's always UFO sighting and things like that. So there is something going on, but we don't need to be afraid of it when we have Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit. But there is things manifesting at night, and we have it on these places, and this, some people see some shadow or things moving in the mountain. And in the book of Enoch we also can read that giants, when they died, and probably this giant Root in Scoot died here when battling some other giants from the other mountains around here. So, and they became some of them became the demon spirits. So, and we know that they do things in these places, that they died. So this could be a very biblical explanation of why some people say they see something at night, and has to do with giants and things like that. But like I said, we don't have to be afraid. The giants and the demons are always afraid. Always afraid of Holy Spirit, because Holy Spirit is stronger than all these manipulated DNA. And when we have the Holy Spirit, they get angry, or they get afraid of us. Just like Moses, when they came into the Promised Land, there were giants there, and they were afraid of Moses and Joshua, Caleb. So it's the same thing. They're afraid of the church, the true church, who has the power over them. So that's final words on this adventure here in the mountain of Åre. So see you in another adventure. Bye.